Salut, sacred stars. C'est Sirian Mermaid, and welcome back to the channel. So today, this is very powerful message. This is for the souls who are exhausted. This is for you. This found you when it needed to. And I trust that YouTube, the algorithm, is going to do what it needs to do, okay? I'm trusting that. Because I need this to reach who it needs to reach. And I don't really need anything. It's going to reach you. Okay? So, when I was going through my bag, let me just preface this with a story of how I was inspired spiritually to sit down for this particular channeling. When I was going through my purse earlier, just looking for some things, I usually always keep a deck on me, right? Just as a reader, like, as an oracle, I always have a deck on me. Like, that's just my thing, right? And I have some other like crystals and different things in my bag, and I'm looking through, and I take out like one of my astrological charts and like different nuggets of knowledge, and then from that comes pouring out the Nine of Swords, and it was just in this deck. Yeah, the Nine of Swords came out, and that was the only card from this deck that wasn't like, the whole deck wasn't even in the bag, y'all. It was literally just this card came spilling out of my purse, and I said, what? I don't remember just pulling that card and putting it in my bag. That's peculiar to me. And I just see a soul. Like, I felt the energy of someone so exhausted and scared even. Like, it was like stressed, overwhelmed. Like your nervous system. It's a lot. And I want you to know that I have a message for you today, and we're going to dig deeper into your energy thread. I just wanted to do a check-in, see how y'all are doing. And that's what I got. Someone who is analysis paralysis. I think you're overthinking. You feel swamped with a lot of thoughts, energies, a lot of things in your field right now. You're needing to do an aura cleanse, right? You're needing to do the cleansing of your chakras, all of them, especially your crown and your root, right? That's kind of like your anchor, the 111, and then the 7th chakra, 777. That's anchoring those together, okay? And creating an anchor and a grounding, and while still being connected to, the higher realms and dimensions without compromising your well-being and your sense of safety in your body, and feeling safe in your nervous system, feeling calm and safe. So let's get into it. I'm already stuttering a lot. Now, that Nine of Swords is particularly a card that represents Mars and Gemini energy, meaning there's a war relating to Gemini energy. Gemini is concerning your mind, your mental health, those bodily organs. So with your cerebral, with your nervous system, right, Gemini energy, there's a war going on. There's an attack here. So we're going to look deeper into why that is and what can be done to remediate that and to get you back into alignment and back into balance, right? So let's see, Spirit. I see the Six of Pentacles. Actually, I've seen it in this deck too, but I kind of just lifted it. But now it's coming out twice in the traditional Rider-Waite and the Vidyasara. So let's take a look here. Generosity, charity, give or receive aid. It says fairness, social justice, sharing with others, imparting knowledge and experience, and financial management. Okay, so what's interesting here is you're exhausted with sharing. You're tired of being generous. You're tired of giving people pardon. I feel like you're the kind of person who's very kind, who will show up for someone in a time of hardship, even if it kind of throws you off path just a little bit. It kind of sets you off of your path to success. Or you allow people to, for lack of a better way to say this, you allow people to inconvenience you. Because you're able to, work around it, but you are willing to volunteer yourself as tribute in certain situations. For some of you, you actually aren't. You were just conditioned to do that, and you may not even know why you still do that. even if you're in a position in life where you don't have to be generous or kind or thoughtful to anyone. Now, those are beautiful, beautiful values and attributes. Don't get me wrong. Generosity, kindness, harmony, balance, like that's beautiful. But I think these seem to be in areas where it's not necessary. I think you tend to give more in relationships than others give to you. And I'm not saying this is necessarily from people who are like malintentioned. I don't get that at all. I don't feel malice from at least the people that you show up for the most in your life. I just kind of get that happens because you have so much value and so much to offer. You're such a gem that you kind of wind up giving more because your spirit is so full and it's just always in a constant state of overflow and overpouring. I heard you need to stop giving that overflow to everyone every time. Just because you have more doesn't mean you need to keep doing that. Also in your own life, if you feel like you're making a lot of money, you're getting a pay raise, you're getting a bonus at the end of the year, you're getting, a new stream of income is opening up, or clients are pouring in and it's like business is hot right now. I'm telling you, you have to treat yourself as though you're still on a budget. How do rich people become wealthy? Because they have a plan, because they have a budget, because they have organized buckets for everything, and they protect those assets. If you are not guarding your own self and your own heart, who is a beautiful, generous, kind person who loves collaborating and working with others and extending a hand, you're going to be exhausted every time because it's not going to be balanced. Even if people want to reciprocate with you, sometimes they're just not in the position to do that. They can't reciprocate because they don't have something. You're giving them something that they lack, which means they cannot reciprocate. So even if you want to be kind and help people, I feel like you have to put a barrier between your service and between your solitude and your self-care. Because if your life is constantly about giving to others, when are you receiving? When are you receiving? Even again, let's revisit that pay raise or that financial abundance timeline jump. If your finances are going through a timeline shift upwards, you're seeing more numbers coming in. You're seeing it racking up, stacking up, packing it. Or packing, whatever. You get what I'm saying. Don't go spending. Don't go flossing and going crazy. I know by the time I post this, Black Friday will have just passed. You're being called to not go into a crazy frenzy this holiday season, or whenever you're seeing this. This is a timeless reading. But the reason you're exhausted is because I'm seeing a constant stream of energy flowing out from your body. And nothing's going back in, or it's going back in very minute amounts. It doesn't equal what you're putting out. So monitor your input versus your output. Not saying to be so transactional in your relationships, Star Tribe. But what I am saying is make sure things are balanced, because that's just self-love and respect. And if people can't get with that program, that's entirely on them. But I see exhaustion because you take a lot on that you don't necessarily have to. So right now, it's time for you to stop taking on things. Just handle what you currently have, fulfill the commitments you already made, and just let yourself breathe. Just cool it. Cool it for a second. And I'm hearing, cool it now. You've got to cool it now. Watch out. You're gonna lose control. Cool it now. You've got to slow it down. Slow it down. You're gonna fall in love. So, some of you are overthinking in love and relationships as well. There's no need to do that. Something that's really meant for you, that can truly reciprocate and reflect to you what love looks like in your life. And the kind of love that you need in your life. If it's going to come to you from the external source. You're going to align with someone. I have big Taurus energy out here. You're going to align with the right people. It's not going to have to be an overextension or a stretch or I gotta see every time you have to stretch your limits. I see like a rubber band stretching till it can't stretch anymore. If you keep pulling on this rubber band, this is so funny. This literally happened earlier. I was trying to adjust a piece of fabric. And so I was using the teeniest rubber bands, you know, the tiny ones they have, you can get at the beauty supply. And then I kept trying to wrap it once, twice, and thrice. And then the thing snapped because I'm stretching it beyond its limits. I know you're amazing. I know you got this. You're powerful. You got the magic. But I'm telling you right now, you need to cool it. New edition, Cool It Now. That's a download for you. That song, Cool It Now. And what's the other one? I've got the magic in me. Every time I touch, snap, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the flow, the girls come snapping at me. Everybody wants some presto magic, magic, magic. That song by, was it Macklemore? No, was it that? The ceiling can't hold us. The ceiling can't hold us. You could be someone, people really love you. Like, people really, they mess with you. You're like a really kind person. I feel like when people ask about you, they hear about you through others, they just hear about all the good things that you do for other people, how you show up. And that's beautiful. I'm not taking away from that for you, Star Tribe. But what I'm saying is make sure that a lot of that's going back into you, because some people are just not able, but you need to be poured into. Make sure to position yourself in ways that you can receive, like booking that massage appointment or going to the park and just absorbing the loving vibrations of earth and nature, asking advice from somebody higher than you or a mentor, not higher, like as in you're inferior, but somebody who is like a mentor of yours, who's been through life, who knows what you're going through right now. Put yourself in a position to be the one who is receiving. You need to be more of a feminine mode. Because Mars and Gemini, that's like a war in the mind. That's very masculine energy, right? So it's not a time to fight back. Rather, it's time for you to surrender. Ten of Wands. You're literally exhausted, overwhelmed. This is my exhaustion card. Sagittarius energy out here. Boom, got the Hangman. We got Cancer, Pisces energy, Leo. Heavy on the Cancer energy and Sagittarius. We've got some Virgo, some Leo, some Taurus coming out as well. Now, the High Priestess, it's time for you to kind of move a little more in silence and go more within yourself. And another thing is, I feel like a lot of times you share, or you're so kind and generous. Sometimes you could overshare the knowledge and the things that you have going on, the secrets you have planned. So it's like by the time you finish with whatever overwhelming project, it's like people already have access to what you're doing next so that they can get on your calendar again and again and again. Like, I don't know. It's just, I do know. We're getting 12-12 energy, huge Piscean energy. This is very self-sacrificial kind of energy, a very selfless person. It's powerful to be selfless, but not at the expense of yourself. Yeah, you're just this overload. It feels like you've got to just take time out for yourself and just relax, rest. You're being tested. For some of you, this is like, you need to hear this over and over again. For some of you, you're just not getting this. You're just not getting it because your instinct is to be of service. You are a service sign or service person. Again, heavy on the Virgo, the Pisces energies. You're a very kind person, very empathic, very intuitive, psychic. You can feel into, you can empathize deeply with people. 777 is another confirmation. You could be born on the 7th, 717, something about the 1st, the 2nd, the 10th, the 12th, or the 7th of the month is significant for you. I would take one of those types of days out specifically to go within, to relax, to maybe even just do absolutely nothing with your day. Make your day about you, though. Whatever it's going to be, make it about you. Yeah. I think that you've exhausted other pathways, and I think you're definitely getting tired of being tired. I heard sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I see you living much more softly. And when you slow down and lighten the load, you're going to eventually come to a point where you find exactly the one thing that is working, the one thing that you can manage, the one thing that's doing it for you. You don't need 10 wands to be successful. You know, you don't need, there's nothing to prove here. There's nothing to prove, Star Tribe. There's nothing to prove. If you can just be a master of one thing, right? Because you know they say jack of all trades, master of none. You want to be a master of a trade, okay? That's how I see you thriving the most in your life and being the most powerful spiritually. Some of you are meant to dive deeper into the esoteric, dive deeper into energy and being a spiritualist. Some of you could be other tarot readers or oracles, light workers, earth angels, star seeds. You're meant to tap more into those higher realms. And how are you able to do that if you're always tethered to doing something, feeling obligated to someone or something else in your life? When are you going to make time? This is why you're exhausted. Because you're not engaged enough in the things that fuel you, the things that nourish your spirit, that make you feel alive. Any closing remarks, Spirit? Thank you, Most High. Answers from the Light Oracle. So we're going to look at the answers from the Light. And then we're going to wrap this up here. Ooh, 3 answers. Beautiful. Shake off the bad vibes. So yeah, you may get some opposition or people giving you weird negative energy. Once you start to pull your energy back, they're used to having that kind of access. This could even make you feel a little uncomfortable and anxious in your spirit, you know, and feel like that urge to actually, I can make time. No, you cannot. If the answer is no, or if it's not helping you on your journey, on your path, ultimately it's inconveniencing you. And even more than that, it's throwing you completely out of alignment and off your path. No is no the first time. Let them reveal to you who they are instead of trying to pacify their nerves. Honor your nervous system. Honor your timeline. Halfway there. So you're getting there, Soul Tribe. It's time to get to the finish line. It's time to get to the finish line. You may be like, oh my gosh, I did all this work and I'm only halfway there now. Or I'm only halfway through the process after all that. I'm telling you, the other half of the process, once you shed all the dead weight and you release all of the unnecessary burdens and obligations in your life, the other half it's going to be breeze. You're almost going to be like laughing at how easy the other half of this process is when you don't have to add on struggle that was never yours to bear. The universe has its reasons to which we can't always understand. So you may be that kind of really kind person. This is a specific download. You're the kind of person to be like, but they need help. They don't have it. Who else is going to do it for them? Who's going to be there for them? Who's going to stand with them? And that's not your responsibility, Soul Tribe. And I know that's not easy to hear when people are struggling or they're going through something, but that's not your karma. You don't know why they have to pay their karma this way. So try not to infiltrate the divine intervention when God is separating you from other people that you feel this urge to help, that you really have no business helping or mediating the situation. Don't get caught up in their karma when God's trying to deal with them and trying to have them work that out with Him. Okay? Let them figure that out. If your spirit genuinely calls you and it's not draining you and depleting you, because you need what you need too. You need love too. You need support too. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're doing better, more well off than them in certain areas. You still need to be poured into just as the next soul needs that. And don't let anybody make you feel like you're asking for too much, or you got brand new, or you owe them something that they should be giving to themselves. They should be looking to God and having faith and walking their path in to uncover that in their life. Everyone's formula for success is different. Some people's just looks really rough. But sometimes that has nothing to do with you, and you can't step in the middle of that. You gotta let people suffer for a while. You gotta let people struggle so they can transmute it into power. Don't take that opportunity from them to do that, no matter how bad it can look, Soul Tribe. Because you have an opportunity to transmute and get even higher than where you are now. And what's the sense if you're helping everybody else get to the level you're at and you're still at the same level? That's what their life is for. Their life is an opportunity on earth to elevate themselves here and ascend through this realm. You also have the same opportunity. Helping others is beautiful. And sometimes helping others is helping yourself too. That's how it works. But self first, then others. And soon it'll all just align perfectly. Then you'll be balanced. Right now, you're too much on one side. So I don't mean to yell at y'all. Somebody just really needed to hear that, and I need to get in there. I love you so much, Soul Tribe. Personal readings are linked down below in the description box if you want to go deeper into your situation in life, love, spiritual path, your career, your money, anything you're looking to do or to know more about, relationships. Feel free to book a personal reading with me at the Sirian Mermaid Sacred Portal. That shop is linked down below. And without further ado, je t'aime et à la prochaine.